Today I thought I would show you how to make this very cute little altered heart that kind of looks like it's a rusted piece of tin. And to do that, we're simply going to take a cardboard cutout of a heart, and here I have Distress embossing ink, and here in the tray I have what's called UTEE, this ultra thick embossing enamel. Now you could do this also with just regular embossing powder that you get just from a regular stamping store, but it takes a lot more layers of the regular embossing powder. This goes on much thicker, so it's a little easier and a little quicker. So what we're going to do is cover the cardboard piece in the embossing ink, and if your pad is not real wet, it might take a little bit to get it covered enough with the embossing ink to make it sticky enough. And you'll have to be patient to make sure that you're getting all of it covered. And remember that this is something that will take several steps to get it completely covered. So we're going to throw this right in here in our tray that has the UTEE embossing powder, and you'll see it comes back up kind of all flocked. And we're going to take a heat tool and melt that. We're going to do this a couple different times. You can see some of that flock blows off because it's not adhered very well. That's okay, we'll just let that make a mess. And you can see that it starts to bubble and melt. We're just going to keep going until it's uniformly melted. You can see it's kind of bumpy, and for this heart I'm making, that's okay. While that's still wet, I'm going to put that back in the UTEE so it can soak up some more. Just swish it around in there, cover it back up, and we're going to do that again. You can do this as many times as you like to get whatever effect you want, or however thick you'd like it to be. You can see I can almost move that around with my heat tool if it's too thick, and kind of move it around a little bit. I like it looking a little bumpy, and what I'm going to do while that is still relatively wet is take a rubber stamp that has a pattern to it and just gently stick that into the UTEE while it's still wet, and I get a real pretty pattern there. Now remember that if you take the heat tool to this again, you're going to melt it. If you don't like that pattern you have there, you could melt that back down and try it again. And where I have just some bumps sticking out here, you can just trim that away with the scissors. So there you have a very pretty texturized heart. Now to color that, I'm going to take various different colors of alcohol ink. This is from Ranger, from Tim Holtz, of course, one of my absolute favorite people. And I'm just taking just a piece of old felt and adhering that on there. We're going to take a few different colors of the Adirondack ink, just so that we can mix it up a little bit. And then just a tiny dot of the alcohol blend solution. If you put too much of that on, it will really fade out your colors, and we want some bright, bold colors. One of my other favorites is this copper that's a fixative. You need to shake that up real well until you hear the balls in there floating around. It's a little bit thicker. And then we're just simply going to start dabbing that onto your heart to give it the color effect that you want. The nice thing about the alcohol inks is they're very forgiving. If you don't like the color that you're getting, you can simply add some more ink. You can you can see there, some of it wiped off. You could take the alcohol ink and wipe the whole thing off if you don't like the colors that you're getting. Now notice how I'm having a hard time getting the color down in to that areas that are depressed. I'm just going to add some ink straight to that and just kind of keep moving it around. Adding a couple different colors into those holes. Or if you like the color, the white showing through, you can always leave it as well. Because I want this to look like a piece of rusted tin, I'm going to keep working a little bit to cover up those exposed areas. I'm going to add just a little bit of black here to darken it a little bit. You can tap it, you can rub it, twist your wrist a little bit. That's getting a little too dark, so I'm going to go back to my lighter colored brown. And you can see you can just keep adding layers until you get the color that you're looking for. Still don't like that white showing up in there, so I'm just going to keep covering it. And there you have it. You can keep adding more color or taking some color off until you have it exactly the way that you want it. It's a great technique. I've also used that same technique up here in the corner to make a cute little frame corner here. Again, just did the exact same technique, and what's nice is you can start with a square and with some great scissors just cut it into whatever shape that you like. I hope you'll try that and have a lot of fun playing around, and later I'll show you what project I'm working on that includes this F. So that'll be seen on another video. Thanks for watching and have fun playing.